Welcome to the channel. I'm the Scottish astrologer, and in this video I'm going to talk about the effects on a generation that Pluto has when located in the zodiac sign of Capricorn. I also am going to show the reason this particular generation should be known as the unicorns, while also revealing the real reason the image of the unicorn has been appearing absolutely everywhere, extremely prominently for the past few years. Now, the chances are that nearly nobody of this generation will be watching this video, as they are the newest generation. Now, my 3 children all belong to this generation, aged 11, 6 and 2. And again, they all are from the Pluto and Capricorn generation. And so I can't imagine anybody in between that particular age group actually watching this video, but I could be wrong. Now, anybody who was born from roughly the year 2008 until the year 2024 is part of this particular generation. Now, please do check the birth chart if you're born at either 2008 or 2000, if you will be born in 2024 while watching this video, as it will be up for many years to come hopefully. Then please do check your birth chart just to be sure that Pluto was in the sign of Capricorn, as Pluto does retrograde back into the previous sign. Okay, so just to be 100% sure, do check your chart. Now, let me begin by explaining to you why I am calling this generation the unicorns, and why you are currently seeing or are having to buy all kinds of products for your children with unicorns on them. So, the thing you need to understand about the sign of Capricorn is that it is, of course, a very earthy, very material sign. But it does have a higher spiritual quality, which is possessed by certain Capricorns. And this higher spiritual Capricorn is actually known as a unicorn and is symbolized by the unicorn. Okay, so the standard quality of Capricorn is represented, of course, by the goat. But the higher spiritual Capricorn is represented actually by the unicorn. Now, some of you may actually be aware of this fact, but most people are totally unaware of this. So if you are a higher spiritual Capricorn, then you are not symbolized by the goat, but you are symbolized by the unicorn. Now, on screen is roughly a 400-year-old image of the zodiac, and as you will notice, Capricorn on this zodiac is not represented by the goat. It has a unicorn in its place. Now, as you can see, every other zodiac sign is represented by the image which we are all currently familiar with, except Capricorn, of course. And this is because the author of this manuscript, called Michael of Rhodes, okay, this author is thought to be himself a unicorn, so a higher spiritual Capricorn, okay. And a higher spiritual Capricorn, so unicorns, were rather rare things, okay, and are today, but especially in this time, okay. Even now, as most of you may have discovered, that for most Capricorns, the higher spiritual side of them comes second, okay, to career or money, etc. They're totally more focused on the material part of life than the spiritual. People will notice that about Capricorns in general. Not them all, but most of them. And the odd one out will, of course, be a unicorn. Now, this current influx of souls born while Pluto is in the sign of Capricorn are nearly all of the higher spiritual Capricorn nature, and so are a generation of unicorns, as they are a Capricorn generation, but they are born into or will live into the beginning of the age of Aquarius. So that's what makes this particular Pluto and Capricorn generation different from the ones which were around roughly 200 odd years ago. Okay, the last time Pluto was in Capricorn. So totally different this time, seeing we are entering or on the cusp of the age of Aquarius, and this generation will live into that particular age, the beginning of that age. And now the real reason you're actually seeing the image of the unicorn on absolutely everything and absolutely everywhere is firstly because this generation is extremely attracted to the image, the symbol of the unicorn on a spiritual and subconscious level, particularly the feminine part of our being, okay? And so the people at the very top behind the scenes know this information, and so are able to make a lot of money by putting this particular image of the unicorn on everything that they can target towards this particular generation. And it's only this particular generation which is being targeted with all the unicorn, everything unicorn, okay? Most prominently. And of course it works. As you know, everything unicorn sells, okay? As our children from this generation want us to buy it for them. Now they don't know why themselves, they're just attracted to it, but this is the reason why they are attracted to it. But it isn't just money involved why you're seeing the image of the unicorn. There is another more sinister reason why the unicorn is everywhere recently. And that is because anciently the image of the unicorn holds a particular meaning which this generation in particular knows. Not consciously but subconsciously on a spiritual level, okay? And that meaning, okay, of the unicorn is actually spiritual purity and spiritual freedom. And this is what this generation, the unicorns, are here to show us and to teach us through their hard work and patience and determination. Their true purpose is to raise humanity up to its higher level, okay? To the higher levels in which humanity needs to go up to be in line with the current and coming solar and planetary frequencies. Okay, everything needs to harmonize. Now, the powers that be behind the scenes know all about this, and they know this generation is a true threat to their precious system of control, and in particular the religious element of that system. This generation is a true threat to that. And so the powers that be are trying to put their own meaning and interpretation for what spiritual purity and freedom actually means, which they have attached to the image of the unicorn, which this generation of course is attracted to so much. And this is all in an effort to control the situation and to confuse, and by confusion to control this generation themselves, okay? Because the other thing about this generation is that they are highly susceptible to corruption. They are very easily corruptible, but especially more so when they're children, okay? In their childhood, this is the prime moment to corrupt this particular generation. Any time older than that, if they're uncorrupted in childhood and make it into adulthood uncorrupted, then that's trouble for the powers that be. Truly is trouble. So now you know exactly why the unicorn is everywhere, and you can either believe me or not, But please know that you cannot argue the fact that when this generation as a whole came to an age of awareness, so when the oldest children of this generation turned 8 years old, okay, we were all of a sudden subjected to the unicorn on absolutely everything. And that is no coincidence, okay? None at all. The timing of that is spectacular. It lines up perfectly. So, yeah, this is a very special generation indeed, who truly needs our help not to become corrupted, okay? It's going to be hard, very hard, near on impossible, but they need our help, this generation does, in particular. Now, let me get into some of the qualities which this generation holds. Again, like I have said throughout this Generation Pluto series, not every member of this generation will be exactly as I say. Now, these qualities are from the generation as a whole when looking back at that generation. So, this generation will have a rather strong and realistic and very practical outlook towards life, or on life in general. This generation is also highly ambitious, okay, and who are willing to work hard to improve life in general for everybody. And this generation is ready, willing and able to take up the task, okay, take up the task of changing everything about our lives that doesn't hold value anymore, or is no longer worth anything to humanity. Now, this generation is a particularly serious generation compared to other generations as a whole. They will also become quite mature much faster, much younger than other generations have before them. And it will seem like their childhoods are over very quickly compared again with our childhoods or childhoods of other generations. They truly are quick to grow up, quick to mature. And I feel that's because they need to be more mature quicker, as they have a job to do and they don't have particularly long in which to achieve their particular job and goal as a generation. And again, as I mentioned, this generation has a particular weakness when it comes to being susceptible to corruption, okay? So again, in childhood though, this is when they are most vulnerable and when they are targeted with corruption, as in childhood. Like you can see, like I'm talking about the image of the unicorn, you can think it's all nice, all sweet, all rainbows, everything, but there is a sinister meaning behind it, more than just making money, okay, like I've explained. And that's the corruption that this generation is being subdued to at the current moment, when no one's even aware of what is going on, okay? And if this corruption does succeed, then this generation will be a generation prone to unethical practices as a whole, okay? They would have failed in their mission of what they were sent here for, okay, what they came here for, what their purpose here was. They would have failed in that, and then what's left is just unethical practices. That's what this generation will be known for, as that's all they really have left once and if they fail in their mission. Okay folks, I think that's all for this video. A huge thanks for watching. Please like, share and subscribe, and don't forget to hit the bell at the right hand side of the subscribe button. Until next time, take care.